And oh, we're not actually recording. It's taken him unusually.
Let's get all songs out of our way.
It's taken him a long time to make a sequel to that movie. It was such a huge hit. I'm surprised there's no.
You think there's a Frozen sequel on the horizon?
Oh, there's got to be, right? I mean, Frozen made it was like the biggest Disney hit of all time. As much as I may be annoyed with it, it was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. They got to be doing something. Anyway,
we'll find out. You don't see an Aladdin 2 or a Little Mermaid 2. Maybe they won't ever do a.
Well, they do, Frozen but they're always those direct-to-video things.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and they're never great. But in this particular case, I don't know. It just feels like money on the table. I could be wrong. Oh, it comes out next year.
Sidian says it comes out. Oh, a bunch of people saying it comes out next year. Really?
All right. Well,
all right.
Spoke too soon. It's coming out next year. All righty. It's time, and it's time. So here goes the deal. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, that must have been some spider.
That breaking batter.
Well, that's a nice lead into this one. Waffle House was hoppin'. Get it?
Give me that wig.
Oh yeah, give me that wig. Yeah, for sure. The beaver and I were just friends.
Give me my quarter pounder.
I gave you all these like demands. It wasn't on purpose.
No, I know.
Therapy Thursday and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
If you're referring to my nappy, it's actually war pants.
This house has recently been licked by an elf.
The Morning Stream, 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 the Morning Stream.
Welcome to day one of the 2020 presidential campaign. This is The Morning Stream.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Morning Stream. For some reason I didn't duck it like it was supposed to. I apologize. Fletcher was kind of buried in the singy-songiness of that intro. But what are you going to do? Hey, it's Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett, hi.
Fletcher did. Duck off. Yeah. Duck off, Fletcher.
Duck off, you mother ducker. I haven't talked to Fletcher in a while. Hope he's doing all right. Should be doing okay. It's been a while, though.
Yeah.
Should check in, see what's up. I know he's been busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on.
I know. I miss I miss hearing from Fletcher.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't really spoken to him for reals since TMS Vegas back in April.
Yeah. I hope he comes to the next one. I have no idea if he has plans to, but that'd be cool. He kind of got too busy to do the film sack stuff, and so because of that, we're just all sort of waiting.
Just going to reuse some old Fletcher bits. By the way, TMS Vegas coming to you, official date. There you
go.
Sorry, did my
your cold.
Discord cut out there?
No, it's your cold. You got this cold. It's hard to hear stuff.
Sorry, I may have sneezed.
I get it. That's no problem. Yeah, he was. Because Alex is right. In the early days of TMS, there was a couple episodes where Brian was gone, and Mr. Scott Fletcher sat in for you. We have a long history with Scott Fletcher. My history with Fletcher goes all the way back to, oh gosh, like early 05. It has been a lifetime of working with the Fletch, and
totally.
Yeah, he's just busy right now. He still loves us.
I remember hanging out. Well, only because there are photographs of this. I remember hanging out with him at one of the first Ontario. What were they called? It wasn't Podcast Movement. It was the
Podcast Expo. Yeah.
Podcast New Media Expo.
New Media Expo.
New Media Expo, I think, is what it was.
I don't remember.
They changed the name every freaking year. It was the Podcasting Expo or New Media Expo or Blog World with podcasting on the side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember. That was the one we were there for.
That was in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah. And Leo called you Ibbotson there.
He did,
didn't he? And that was the trip.
He did. Whatever.
Brian Ibbotson.
Leo Laportitude. Leo Laporte Schnagel.
Schnagel, yeah.
Leo Laporte Schnagel.
Always put a Schnagel on the end. So we're here, we're back, we're doing it. It's November 8th, 2018, and we're having a show. And everything's late for me today, so I don't even care. It's just, I got up late, I went to bed late, I had weird dreams, I had a little experience I'll tell you about in a second during the night. It's just one of these, like, days where nothing's going right. Dogs got out late, they got fed late. I got late with everything. Everything's late, Brian.
Wow.
In fact, for all I know, if I peed on a stick, I'd be pregnant. My period is late.
on top of things today. Like, so neighbors are gone, so I'm taking care of their house for them.
Yeah.
And taking care of their cats, 3 cats.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Carl,
really? They had
Jack,
3
and
cats.
Hubert.
Holy, I had no idea they had 3 cats. That's crazy.
Oh, they are. You will not find across this great planet of ours 2 people who are more devoted to their cats. Hence the fact that taking care of the cats is a 30-minute job twice a day.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because Jack requires a quarter of a pill dropped down his throat with an eyedropper of water to follow, 2 eye drops. Feed him 1 tablespoon of food at a time, because he just had every 3 days you have to give him an appetite increaser medicine. By the way, those tablespoons of food need to be accompanied by a little bit of water, because he doesn't feel like he gets enough water. So you got to maintain, like, keep track of how much food he eats out of that bowl. And then if it looks like he's in well, put another tablespoon or 2 of food in there. Meanwhile, Carl will eat his food, so you have to give Carl a separate pill that mellows him out. That one courtesy of Jackson Galaxy. And you have to make sure he doesn't go and eat Jack's food.
Oh my gosh! Can I make a prediction here? I just want to predict something, and you tell me if I'm right.
Sure, absolutely.
No kids. They don't have any children. Right?
They don't have any kids.
Okay.
These are their
All right.
kids.
All right.
Yeah. And
when people go crazy with medications and a million little ways of like taking care of a cat and stuff, that's always a sign that that's their kids, and that's fine. Hey, whatever, man.
Totally. Yeah,
whatever.
Absolutely. And these cats are treated like kings, and they are sweet cats.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nara. She's sleeping. She can't hear me.
She can't hear it.
But I do love hanging out with them, because they have such like big personalities.
Yeah.
Each of them.
Well, that's good.
But holy cow, yeah, it is a spreadsheet and then a page and a half of instructions that are left out for me for feeding the cats.
Maybe the cats are cool because they're always grooving on Dave's pot.
Maybe they get a little secondhand action.
Yeah,
I bet one of them does probably get CBD oil as part of their daily.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. A lot of animals do now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, by the way, Utah passed its medical marijuana bill. So
wow,
making us like super late to the game. Like everyone else is doing a recreational, we're just barely getting to medical, but we did it. So one step closer to Colorado town here. We'll see.
So that's good. So now when our smoke drifts over the mountains to you guys won't have to like shut the windows and go, no, we cannot have that.
Yeah, no. This is true. It looks like the young vote really got out there and nailed that one to the wall. So yeah, medical marijuana, a thing in Utah.
So here's a question, prediction time. Do you think that it's basically just going to trickle across the country, state by state? First they allow medical and then they allow recreational, or do you think at some point they're just the feds are just going to say, oh, screw it, all right, it's legal across the country?
I think it depends. Like in the current,
once we get 3/4 of the country, they're just going to say F it.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of seem like it's relatively well, I shouldn't say this because I don't actually know, but it feels like it's a nonpartisan issue at this point. Like it doesn't seem that contentious anymore. There are certainly people opposed to it, but it's just like, all right, you guys, come on. Like, we're not stupid. We know what the studies are. We know this is no worse, maybe better than alcohol in terms of, what those stats show. So what's the big deal? I don't know. I do think it will probably come as a state mandate before the federal government does anything, because they're afraid to. So,
right.
And I don't even just mean this administration. I think any administration just doesn't want to touch this thing. But there will come a day where it'll just be, well, all 50 states are doing it, so may as well make it federal law, and then just do it.
Exactly. I'm looking at a map right now. So recreational is in Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Alaska, Colorado, Michigan, Massachusetts, Vermont, and Maine.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And then that is a lot. And then medical is, there's about 20 states with medical.
Yep.
A lot of the East Coast, except for Virginia and South, and Florida has got medical. And then Four Corners, you can get your marijuana on all 4 corners. but Colorado's the only one you can do it recreationally. But still, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona, all allowing it.
Yeah, and we'll probably be holdouts on recreational for a long time.
That's what we said too. It's so cute.
Yeah, it is cute, isn't it? Cadavari in the chat says, I've had medical marijuana for cancer, and without it, my life would have been even more miserable than it already was. I hear nothing but from people who were able to get medical marijuana prescribed for them for whatever ailment. They all report that it was huge. I mean, this thing grows on the planet. We didn't make it up. It's not fake. It's not some synthetic thing made by drug companies. Like it's the real deal. If it freaking works, well, what's the holdup? Just because we stigmatize it like a bunch of a-holes doesn't mean we can't fix it now. So fix it. And Brian, look, Brian lives in Colorado. Guess who doesn't smoke pot? Brian. He doesn't care.
Yep. Nope. I don't care. Who's going to care? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Exactly. So anyway, it's kind of a funny thing how that all worked out.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I got a question. Maybe I'll need some medical marijuana for this. I don't know.
Sure.
About 2 o'clock in the morning, I feel a sharp pain to my leg. It woke me up. Okay, because I was asleep, like you should be at 2. And I feel like this sting, like this, like something stabbing me in the leg. I wake up and I'm like groggy, going, "Oh, what the frickin' crap!" I pull the blanket up, and what I see is just kind of a very lightly red area on my leg. But it doesn't look like anything. And I'm like, great, something freaking bit me. Because that's had to be what it is. Like a spider.
Totally, yeah, I mean, sharp pain, red mark.
Right. These are the signs of a bite, Brian. Right?
Okay. Can you climb walls? Or can you shoot webs?
No, but I have tingling in my brain when I think danger's
around. I guess
around.
the shooting webs really is from the spider shooters that were designed by Peter Parker.
You know,
not organic.
There are people who like the organic thing. I'll never understand them. I don't get it. Why would you want that? Why would you want Spider-Man to have goop in his arms? It's gross.
Yeah, well, exactly. Plus, goop doesn't come out of Spider's arms, so why should it come out of his?
No, it's jacked up. It should always have been mechanical, because it also had a lot to do with Peter Parker's character and personality. But anyway.
Exactly. Yes, anyway.
So I tried to think nothing of it, but I shook the sheets out, and I'm like digging around looking for it, and Kim's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "Just go back to sleep, honey. I'm fine. Everything's fine."
Trying to find the spider that just bit me.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep, honey. It's okay.
It's all fine. So I'm sloshing that around trying to find it. I never do find any kind of creature. I just find myself throwing blankets around for no reason. And so I go back to sleep. I wake up this morning, and it's like this swollen freaking knot on my leg that's kind of, much more red, and you can see right where the bite would have happened, right in the center of it. And it just itches. It doesn't hurt. It just itches now. And I can't imagine what made that. Like, it had to have been a spider or something, and now I can't stop thinking about what the hell did this, and I want to find out, because I don't want to have it happen again. Like, that's no good. Oh my gosh, Cadavari says, I woke a couple of nights ago with a spider crossing his face. His or her face. Yeah. I don't know if Cadavari's a lady or man. I have no idea. But that's awful. That's terrible. Did you reach up and do like caveman style where you go and smush it on your face, or what'd you do?
Well, hopefully, because then it's the problem is solved, but still, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a brown recluse, so you're Matt Bat at home, or Matt B at home, if it was a brown recluse, you'd maybe start feeling some effects of necrosis around that skin, like that skin would start dying. Those photos you see online of people who get bitten by a brown recluse, those are the most foul, horrible things ever.
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not about to go. It could have been a mosquito, but I don't know. But I'm not about to go to the doctor yet, because it's just dumb. It doesn't hurt.
Matt?
It just
maybe you brought a bed bug back from the Hilton.
Could be. I mean, you never know what happens in those rooms. Actually, I do know what happens in those rooms. I overheard a couple conversations. I listen. Some real debaucherous stuff happens at BlizzCon in those rooms.
Really?
Oh yeah. You should hear the story Bo told me that he overheard. It was foul. Like, I can't believe what he told me, and that makes me never want to sleep in room level 8, whatever it was. But then
God, you'll have to tell me offline.
Yeah,
I want to hear.
It was real bad. And then there was who were we talking to? Oh, I was talking to somebody else who got a bunch of recreational pot because they don't live in California and they wanted to see what it's like. They'd never tried it. So they go back to the hotel and they're drinking like mad people, just pounding booze down in this hotel room.
Oh, this is a Terpster story, isn't it?
It's, well, maybe he was there. I don't know. It's actually a good point.
Wow, it's really just open. No.
I don't know. I mean, I just never say no. If it's Terpster drinking, I never say no because I don't know. That guy's unpredictable. But they're in there doing that. They're eating edibles. They're smoking pot. They're doing just a weed party. And they all got so jacked up that they all woke up and there were just like puddles of barf everywhere and just like people laying in this hotel. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want that room ever. I don't want that room.
No, exactly. I'm going to need an early checkout of room 519, please. You have any other rooms available?
Room's a hard word to get out if you're going to yak. But yeah, it's bad. So anyway, I don't think this is a brown recluse. But if I have any necrosis on the general bite area, I'll react. I'll do something. But also, isn't there little you can do? There's not a lot you can do, right? Like it just eat you. Just gonna eat your leg off. It's fine. Whatever.
I mean, just got to kind of tough it out. You can put some like Benadryl cream and stuff, maybe to curb the itching.
Yeah.
But I think you just kind of got to wait it out and see what happens.
See what happens. Could have been a Black Widow, although I think I would have felt other side effects for that. I know it wasn't anything that had fangs, so it wasn't 2 prongs. It was just a single little poke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means.
That's interesting. So, all right. Well, that that kind of does rule out a spider then.
Well, it does, but couldn't it be small enough that it's hard to tell? Like if I really zoomed in, I might see.
Maybe it's a one fang, like a spider with a single fang. Like, I'm Larry the one fang spider. How you doing?
Yeah, Larry the one fang spider. He's my favorite. I love that guy.
It's interesting. So I think, I don't even know what to suggest if it's only like a single bite in there.
Yeah, it's like it feels like a pinprick style.
Fangs.
Yeah, almost like it really does honestly feel like I almost leaned into like
maybe
a
Tom
needle.
Cruise bit you with his one center tooth.
That's yep. He probably ran there too. We'll pull all the stereotypes in there. But yeah, like it's a kind of a single point of contact, and I could have. I mean, maybe a loose needle was in the bed. I don't know.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. But when I shook all the stuff out, I couldn't find anything. So.
Which between the two of you, between you and Kim, who is the more arachnophobic?
Kim by far. She is horrified by
so
spiders.
She didn't like just move to another room when you said, "Oh, go back to sleep, honey. Just trying to find a little spider that just bit me."
No, because I think she was
in the bed in the sheets with us. Go back to sleep.
I think it's because she was totally out of it, and I still haven't told her, and so she doesn't really know what I was on about at 2 a.m.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
if she did though. If she did, I know what that would end up meaning. It would mean some kind of, like, she'd go as far as, like, let's fumigate, let's we're getting a new mattress. Like, she'd go crazy. And I don't want to do that. So I'm not ready to freak out quite that much yet.
I just love Jeannie because she does bring up a good point. She says, a loose needle? Like, you have needles loose in the bed and that doesn't, like, freak you out?
Well, okay. It's a good point. The only reason that could be, I was thinking about that, is maybe it fell out of a... we get some my shirts that I get dry cleaned. Some of them have a needle in them to hold the thing on. It's possible that fell out. It's possible the kids did it.
But
could be a really. We have this very sharp pair of tweezers that the kids are always using, and sometimes those are around the bed area because they're watching TV or something. And they're in there, doing a tweezer thing on a hair. I don't know. It could have been anything. Could have been a pin. Could have been.
Do they not have their own room where they can tweeze things on their bed? Thank you. No. Go to your own room and tweeze things.
Yeah. Nobody needs you tweezing them in here.
Wow. This suddenly the spider feels like the worst problem that's going on the least troubling problem that's going on in the Johnson household.
The tweezing and the needle leaving and the other stuff is kind of weird. But yeah, we all like last night we watched a bunch of King of Hill together, and Carter was drawing on her iPad, and I'm chilling there, and Nick's in there, and we're all just like in there, and sometimes that involves somebody tweezing something or looking in a mirror at the vanity table or
firing up the old Epilady and taking care of some of those errant leg hairs or something.
Firing up the Epilady. Somebody submit that as a title suggestion, please. Firing up the Epilady. That's great. I'm voting for that one without sight unseen. Straight down that ticket. Anyway, also there's some news. I have some news, and if this does something weird, I'll keep people informed. But another growth happening out there in Hollywood is the confirmation that Bryan Cranston said and confirmed, and then some others followed up, including Vince Gilligan, that Breaking Bad, the movie, is happening. Now, they won't be in theaters. It'd be like an AMC one-off 2-hour movie.
Gotcha.
And
wow, do you think, would it only be in AMC theaters? I know that there's no relation to AMC, the network, and AMC theaters. At least I don't think there is, since one of them is American Movie Classics and the other one is something cinema, something American cinema or something like that.
American Master Cinema. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
But yeah, like if that'd be a really cool crossover, even if they're not owned by the same company. But
yeah.
So apparently this is happening, and the rumor is, or the talk is, it's got nothing to do with Walter White, although he may make like a cameo, flashbacky kind of appearance. It's most to do with Jesse. So this is Jesse after he leaves. You know, at the end of that series.
Yeah.
He's in the car and he's kind of crazy, crying and laughing and screaming in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, what happened to Jesse after that? That's the current thinking. And Gilligan's into it. Gilligan's making it. Now, that gives me hope, dude. I'm into it. I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
Do you? I mean, I feel like, man, if there was a TV show that had a more concrete ending of, you know, their final episode and didn't need any further exposition beyond that, I feel like Breaking Bad was it. I mean, I love what we're getting with Better Call Saul and the whole the prequel, but you still get to see, you know, his new job in Nebraska or wherever he is working at a Cinnabon.
Yeah, or he got a witness protection over there or whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, here's the way I would look at it. It's like it's not that this would be to give us resolution, or to fill in any holes. It's to give us additional Jesse stuff. Like, I think that's interesting.
I want to think that he met what's her face with two first and last name begin with M and started his own cult. And
yeah, what if it's just the pilot of Hulu's The Path?
Exactly,
that's
all
the 2-hour movie.
Just give us a connection there, and like, all right, then we got the continuing adventures of Jesse.
Rolls right into Need for Speed, that horrible movie he was in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we can all guess as to what it would be, but I trust Gilligan. I trust Vince Gilligan enough to know that he could pull something off. Like, I think it could be super interesting. So I find myself curious about this, and
I'm guessing that we're pretty close to the end of Better Call Saul, because you're starting to see the Saul Goodman come out of the Gimmie.
Coming out of the Gimmie?
The Gimmie McGill, in this last season. Have you seen the last season?
I haven't watched the season did it just finish, or is it still?
Just finished,
okay, yeah, I haven't watched this season at all. I usually tend to go back and binge. I'll probably do that pretty quick here. Go buy them all on Amazon or something, just watch them straight through. But I loved everything up till this season, so very excited about it. Do they have at least one more though? I believe, right? That they signed on for. Okay.
Yes, we can ask Vince Gilligan, but yes, I've got one more season of Better Call Saul to take care of here. Hold on, let me put a few more ice cubes in my mint julep here. Just rocking on the.
I don't know.
Front porch.
I don't know if it's the cold or the Ken Kratz that's sneaking in there.
I think it's the cold.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not getting enough. I can't get the whistles in the S. Enough with the
no.
The Vince Gilligan.
No.
I need to go and workshop it a little bit more.
The Vince Gilligan. It's a gift that just keeps on giving. But yeah, we'll see. I have high hopes for this, and I want to see what happens. And also, Bryan Cranston.
We begin filming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Always 2 weeks. Everything's about it'll be 2 week increments.
That's right.
Bryan Cranston's currently in a Ford commercial. I don't know if you've seen this commercial, but it's really good. And it's a great reminder that Bryan Cranston, even in a commercial, is like the best actor on the planet. He's amazing in this commercial.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? It's just a Ford commercial?
It's a Ford commercial, and it's really good. I would recommend people watch it. It's all about his delivery, because anybody could do that. It could have been McConaughey or 1,000 other actors doing a commercial.
John Hamm doing car commercials, I know.
Sure. but there's still something about those where it's like, oh, it's a car commercial. This one's like, whoa, this is a really good performance by Bryan Cranston. Is also selling cars. Like, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, he plays the car lobster shaver. That's right. He plays the car.
Plays the car.
Well, all right then. This has all been well and good.
Waltermobile.
Yeah, the Waltermobile. Let's dive into this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Look, it's the news, and it's brought to you by this huge thing Brian has to read.
That's right.
Yeah.
Support the 2018 Jawin Comic Book Drive for service members. For the past 4 years, comic book writer and podcaster Jason Inman has been collecting donations of comic books to send to the real heroes protecting the United States overseas, injured soldiers recovering in hospitals all over the world, and their family members back home. To date, the Jawin Comic Drive has collected over 112,000 comic books. This year, Jason has teamed up with Operation Gratitude with the goal of raising 15,000 comics by November 30th. Jason is a veteran who spent a year serving overseas in Iraq and knows firsthand how much a geeky gift can mean at the holidays. You can fill a medium flat rate box with 50 to 60 comic books and ship it to Operation Gratitude for less than $13 and help bring joy to service members and their families. Be sure to email photos of your donation and the number of comics you're donating to jawinComicDrive@gmail.com to be included in the official count. That's JAWIIN comicdrive@gmail.com. Visit comicdriveforservicemembers.com for all the details.
It's a very cool thing. Ashley sent me an email and says, would you guys be willing to talk about this? I said, abso-freaking-litely we will.
For sure. Jason and Ashley are, they're so awesome. And all the stuff that they're doing with the science comic book and this and their stuff with major spoilers, they rock,
great.
Man. They're the best.
They're great. She also, the subject line was, her subject line was Dear Space Dad, which I always appreciate.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like being
Very
Space
cool.
Dad. It's a long story, everybody. All right, hey, check this out. I love this story. A man with no pants. That's what we're going to call him.
Man with no... I've been through the desert on a man with no pants. It felt good to get out of my pants.
In the desert, you don't need no
wear
pants.
No pants, 'cause there ain't no rain for it to give you no pants.
That's amazing. So this guy, he fell through an Alabama Waffle House ceiling. And then,
of course he did.
And then fought off a bunch of patrons before escaping.
It's funny because there was a thing last week with a woman who fell through a ceiling and she was half naked too, and then crawled back up in the ceiling and then fell somewhere else through the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this, but there's a lot of people up in...
Why are there half naked people up in the ceilings?
I don't know what's going on with that. I see naked people everywhere I go. It says here, customers of the Waffle House in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Is that how you'd say that?
Tuscumbia, yes.
Well,
God.
it's not a great name.
Change you got the word scum right in the middle of the name of your city. I would change the name of your city.
Yeah, that's rough. Go get changed.
Tuscumbia.
I mean, I don't know what it costs to change a city name. Probably more than a personal name, but
probably, but
yeah,
worth it.
Who knows?
Whatever it is,
Says
spend the money.
They were left panicked on Sunday after a man in his underwear fell through the ceiling following a failed robbery attempt. Times Daily newspaper. You ever been there? Is that one you went to?
The Times Daily in Tuscumbia, Alabama.
Yeah, probably
or
not.
is that Birmingham? Maybe that's Birmingham Times Daily. I think I may have, actually.
Oh,
I have been to Birmingham.
Yeah.
I think that's there are only two places I went in Alabama. Birmingham, and then right across the border from, like, if you go straight west from Georgia, you go to an army base, and then on the other side of that is the Alabama border.
The Alabama-Georgia border.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Mobile. That's the closest I've ever been to Alabama. I guess that is in actual Alabama, but I've been to Mobile. Anyway, where are we here? Oh, this guy's name, he is a 27-year-old man. His name is Wesley Glenn Boast. And he fled the scene on foot. Boast is now wanted for first-degree criminal mischief and burglary charges. He tried to burgle the building.
He's a burglar.
I love that name. Burgle. It's fun to say. Police Chief Tony Logan said Boast had been trying to... It's Bost, maybe? B-O-S-T? Boast, I don't know.
Bost? I don't know.
break into the restaurant's office above the dining space by going via the ceiling of the bathroom. After climbing up, however, he fumbled through the floor and into the dining area. The fall was captured on video. Let's see if we can see this. So what happened is his jeans got torn and it ripped him off. So he wasn't up there to be naked.
Okay, so he started out wearing pants.
Right. He started wearing pants. Now this must be right after. Nobody films the guy falling through. Oh wait, you can see him falling. Oh, this is great.
Are you sure? Like, here's... This says...
Yep, there he is. They saw a bulge.
I'm sure they did.
And these people don't go nowhere. Oh, he's fighting with patrons. Look at him pushing that dude.
Oh, so somebody actually sees something going up on the ceiling.
Yeah, they're like, what is that?
Oh, no! He falls down. Oh, it's a bummer. You can't see... Oh, there he is.
What?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, I don't want to watch Trump do things. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Let's kill that video.
So in the second part of the article, though, it says that he removed his pants and tied them to the bathroom door to ensure he wasn't disturbed. So, like, he
you're
took
right.
his pants off and tied the door shut.
You're right. I don't know where I'm getting the ripped pants thing from. You know what? I'm thinking of that other story where somebody else was in
the woman. Right. Okay.
Yeah, her stuff got ripped off because she fell out. That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah, this guy tied him to the thing. You're right. This was so he wouldn't be disturbed. That was to lock that door. The video of the incident viewed hundreds of thousands of times.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Police say after exiting the restaurant, he got into a car with another suspect. They left the vehicle and fled on foot. Wait a minute. Got into the car and then left the vehicle and fled on foot. Why didn't you drive? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, he got into a car and they later left the vehicle.
Oh, left the vehicle. So they drove someplace. Okay.
Yeah, probably like, ran out of gas.
Yeah. Oh, no. I ain't got no pants. I ain't got no gas.
Boston. Ran out of gas, Wesley Glenn Bost. Let's go. Let's go on foot.
All right, Larry Cheadle, Squeezy, let's get the hell out. Wee-haw! Those Duke boys are in trouble again. Like that.
How are them Bost boys going to get out of this one?
Get Glenn Campbell talking while it's frozen and the car's frozen in a jump. That's amazing.
Oh, jeez.
All
I can picture is Judd Nelson going through the ceiling during the Breakfast Club, right? Like telling a joke about a woman who walks into a bar with a poodle under one arm and
Yep.
Because you never hear the punchline. That's kind of the John Hughes joke is that he falls through the ceiling before you get the punchline.
Yeah, and didn't he somewhere in like an interview or somebody someplace said that there was never one? Or that it was too dirty to share. Something was going on. I don't remember what the deal was.
I believe it because it's so it's such a very convoluted setup. Let's see. A naked blonde walks into a bar carrying a poodle under one arm and a 6-foot salami under the other. The bartender says, "So, I don't suppose you'd be needing a drink." The blonde says, "Whoa!" That's when he falls through.
Yeah, we never know the answer. I'd like to know. There's probably something out there. By the way, it was Waylon Jennings. I'd like to make a correction. It wasn't Glenn Campbell. I said that in haste. Chat room has corrected me over and over. It was Waylon Jennings. Jennings, not Jenning. And it wasn't Glenn Campbell. I can tell you that.
Jennings.
So save your email. Whoever was already half done with an email before I corrected it, I'm sorry you wasted your time on that email. I now know that it's Ken Jennings, winner of... Oh, by the way, did you see that? Not Ken Jennings, but did you see the Jeopardy's all over on Amazon or Netflix? If you go to Netflix, you can watch old Jeopardy, or maybe it's new Jeopardy. I don't know what it is.
I think it might be new Jeopardy.
What the heck, man?
Right? No, it's really weird. And also, Alex Trebek dressed up as one of the members of Kiss for Halloween.
Okay, that's amazing. Which one? Who do you do?
Well, does it really matter?
Yeah, it does. It does matter to me. I want to know.
Actually, looks like he did. Here you go. He looks like he did Gene Simmons.
No way.
I'm putting a link. Here you go, Discord. You'll find a link right there.
All right, we're taking a look here. I didn't hear about this. This is amazing. Okay, Alex, you're back. Here we go. Okay, this might just be the greatest thing we're about to watch. I don't actually know. Jeopardy's Alex Trebek looks amazing as Kiss Gene Simmons for Halloween, says the headline. This video
Play that video. That's all you need. 15 seconds of joy right there.
For some reason, it won't run for me.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. Let me try this again. It's just sitting there. Let me try Alex Trebek Kiss. This could be weird. Let's see what we got. All right, there's Alex Trebek. Yeah, I can't. Maybe I'll just look in news. Here we go. Alex Trebek's costume. Here we go. We'll find it. We found another source.
Okay, good.
A source that should have a functioning video player. Here we go. Halloween costume, total kiss off. It says.
Ah.
Oh my gosh. It's pretty legit.
Yeah, I know. Like the hair, the apparently not the platform shoes though, because he's still about a foot shorter than the actual Gene Simmons.
Yeah, that's
who
really.
Apparently, still dresses up as like he's got the Gene Simmons with his jowls and his makeup.
So who's the other one? There's two in this
Gene
shot.
Simmons.
Oh, that's actually Gene Simmons?
That's Gene Simmons, yeah.
Oh. They both look just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Yeah, anyway, so if you want... oh, here we go. Reuters has... Oh, it's all left ear. Nice job, everybody on the internet. All your stuff sucks. All right, I'm skipping ahead.
Okay, all right.
Oh, he's just doing some kind of...
Governor? Not that I remember.
Oh, you know what this is? It's that gubernatorial... he hosted a debate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so for some reason...
Alex Trebek did?
Yeah, and he got in kind of trouble for it because he was real jokey during the whole thing, I guess, and people didn't like that. I think it's great if he's jokey, but...
I'm sorry, we were looking for the economy. The economy.
No, I love it. Political
The
categories.
correct response was healthcare.
Yeah. It's like, taxes are going up. Bling, bling, bling. Oh, I see. That's our daily double. Yeah, like they could have had some fun with that. But he's great. I love that guy. But I don't know. I didn't know.
The board.
So am I seeing, if I go to, are these like new, that's crazy. New episodes of Jeopardy on Netflix. It seems crazy to me.
Yeah, which is great because they don't show them because of the way the news is shown here. What used to be syndicated on one of our channels, like about 5:30 or 6 was Jeopardy, and then after that was Wheel of Fortune, and we'll, every once in a while we'd try and catch Jeopardy and be sad about how the only times we'd ever do well is during Kids Week. Yeah. But but this kind of allows us to keep up with it and watch it and not have commercials.
Yeah, I'm excited about this actually. Weirdly, I liked me some trivia and some competition. I'll watch it.
Yeah, right.
That show's venerable. Like of all the modern, game show type things, it's a respectable, awesome thing that still persists. Like. It's not, a lot of them are so gimmicky. Like Wheel of Fortune, I know it's still around. I know Trebek is it Alex Trebek? No, that's him.
Yeah.
Who does Wheel of Fortune?
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak. I know he's still just swinging that thing and telling Vanna to change the letters and whatever. But it's such a gimmicky thing. All of it's so mechanical and stuff. This is just like straight up. Here's a wall. Here are your categories. Answer it in the form of a question. There's like a respectableness to Jeopardy I've always liked.
Yep.
So
I'm Sci-Fi says it's Hulu. Is it Hulu or Netflix? I thought it was.
I saw it on Netflix.
I thought it was Netflix also.
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix. Maybe Hulu's getting them too, but I saw it on Netflix. Last night, in fact. We were looking through Netflix stuff and I went, what? Jeopardy? That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, and I finished Haunting the House Hill House Haunting.
Oh, I can't do it until... So Tina comes back today. Yay!
Yay! That's great.
She's been gone since I got back from Anaheim, so...
Hopefully you give her your
aside
cold.
from a couple hours, we haven't seen each other all week.
Yeah.
But we can finally finish Hill House, which I'm really excited to.
Yeah, it's I like how it ended. It's very, very interesting.
Cool.
I don't think it would have worked if it wasn't for how much you care about these characters. The way they ended it would have been, if they were characters you kind of loathed and irritated you would not probably like the ending. I loved the ending. I thought it was great. What a show that is. I think that thing is special.
So
they need to keep making that stuff.
So good.
Anyway, hold on.
Jeopardy on Netflix.
Adjust my bum here.
Oh, please do.
Please
do.
Oh, much better. Police have arrested a man for allegedly having sex with a dying beaver while high on methamphetamine.
Was he high or was the dying beaver high on methamphetamine?
He's high on the methamphetamine. However, the beaver may have gotten a contact high.
Sure, that I believe it. That makes sense.
Is that how it works? If you have...
Wow. And again, why put everything you've got into the headline? Like, save some for the first paragraph.
No, it is almost a first paragraph, isn't it?
Yeah.
35-year-old Washington man was arrested over the weekend. This is nowhere near Florida. In fact, the farthest you can be from Florida, really. Well, you got to go to Hawaii to get any further. Anyway, 35-year-old Washington man was arrested over the weekend for allegedly having sex with a dying beaver while high on methamphetamine, reported the Washington television station KXLY, or Clixie.
He was reported as saying, "Dying beaver is a nickname for my wife."
Dying beaver. Oh, man.
Her name is Diane Beaver. Please fix that typo.
Diane Beaver. Don't bother pinching yourself. This is real, says the article. It started around 9 p.m. when a local woman came across a beaver that had been struck by a car. Someone help me save this beaver, she wrote on Facebook. I flipped him over so he would walk out. So he would walk, but his leg is broken. That's a bad sentence. She was able to move the beaver out of the way of traffic by placing it on a towel and dragging it closer to a nearby pond. After calling local wildlife agencies and veterinary clinics, very nice lady, trying to save a beaver.
It really is, yeah.
I like it. Anyway, they were closed for the holiday weekend. She decided to run home and grab a plastic tub that she could keep the animal in until authorities were open the following day. That's when things get weird. I will now continue it after I click this link. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. It says here, when she came back, she had a rather unsightly surprise. So she came back with the tub to put the animal in the tub. Okay. He's deceased, she later wrote in the comments. I caught a homeless man having sex with the beaver. I'm traumatized. Officers with the Kennewick Police Department confirmed the account, saying that a transient male was having sexual contact with a wild animal. Boy, you really got to be desperate if a dying beaver is your answer, don't you think?
Desperate and tiny, right? I mean, what's...
I wasn't thinking of that at all. I wasn't thinking of that at all. But now that we have, I can't think of anything else. Thank you very much. Oh,
sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh, that made me laugh. That actually hurt my throat to laugh that hard. Anyway, they say he was on meth. They've got him in custody. You shouldn't be doing that stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, because beavers, they make dams and stuff.
Yeah, they make dams.
Yeah, I like it. I like where your head's at. How about this one? A LAPD arrest has had to arrest a dude who went on a hat crime spree. He's also, well, it's more of a wig crime spree, but it's also considered a hate crime, not a hat crime.
Oh.
Sorry, I meant hate crime.
This just in. I'm just picturing a newscaster. This just in. A man has been accused of committing hat crimes across our city. I'm sorry. Hate crimes.
You just see him lean over and put his finger to his ear. Bill? Are we
I've
missing
just been informed that there are hate crimes and not hat crimes.
Everything's like Anchorman in real life.
Right.
Anyway, LAPD have arrested a hate crime suspect accused of snatching wigs. What?
Where else would you find two guys laughing about hate crimes, right?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
That's what we do on the show.
Morning stream.
We lighten it up. We take the news, we flatten it out, and we make something nice out of it, okay?
That's right.
We could go off. There was another horrible shooting last night. We could talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
we could talk about the White House faking a video of something and then trying to push it as real. And
the Joe Acosta thing. Jeez.
Yeah, we could talk about that, but that sucks. I don't want to talk about that.
No, let's talk about the hat crimes. Man.
Let's talk about hat crimes. This guy's he's been snatching wigs from the heads of women in North Hollywood and running. So run up. Okay. So I guess he's good at knowing when it's a wig and when it's not just real hair. I guess I don't know, but runs up.
But I mean,
yoink.
You know. Yeah. All you have to do is try like 4 of them, and if you grab one that's a wig, then you've gotten away with a wig. You know, I mean,
good point. Yeah,
he's not gonna. Yeah,
maybe he pulled on some. They don't say here, but maybe he yanked some hair that shouldn't have. But
right, exactly.
Looks like he's targeting older people. It says here, this is all happening in Sherman Oaks, Wednesday night. Now he's cooperating with police. Name's not been mentioned, but 2 of the victims were targeted on Yom Kippur. Authorities said the first victim was an 80-year-old woman. She was walking along Bel Air Avenue near Burbank Boulevard when the male suspect, who appeared to be in his mid-20s and 30s, or 30s, it says, and has been following her for some distance, grabbed the wig from her head. According to police, the suspect then smiled at the victim and then handed the wig back to her, never saying a word, and then he walked away. Later in the same day, 36-year-old woman approached from behind by the same suspect. Suspect attempted to pull off the wig off the woman's head in a similar manner to the first incident, according to police. More than a month later, on November 6th, same suspect approached a 58-year-old woman. So a serial wig grabber. He's clearly got an issue.
Yeah.
She was putting stuff in her car, which was parked near this place. The man grabbed the wig from her head and said, "Oh, I'm sorry," in a sarcastic tone, and threw the victim's wig on the ground before walking away.
Jeez.
One of the wig incidents was captured on surveillance video. The victim spoke with the Eyewitness News there, but did not show her face.
Eyewitness News, it should be.
Yeah. She says, quote, "All of a sudden I felt something." You know what? I can't help it. I have to do this. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, here you go. "All of a sudden, I felt something behind me, like against my back. I felt my wig coming off, and I turned around and saw a face, and him pulling off my wig. I screamed." There you go. So anyway, that guy's in trouble now for pulling everybody's wigs off. It doesn't make any sense to me. And they're calling it a hate crime because he seems to be targeting Jewish women.
Okay.
But also, what are you doing? What is this? Why?
I don't remember what. I mean, how is he able to identify the wigs that well?
Yeah.
Again, we're only hearing about the wig stories, so maybe he is trying to. Maybe he has pulled. We've actually knocked Jeannie off her chair. She's laughing so hard at this episode.
She likes this one, huh? She's laughing the 8th time at this episode. That's fantastic. Jeannie, we're here for you. This is what we do the show for.
That's right, exactly. There's so many questions that I want to know, like why wigs or why,
Doesn't appear to be like one of these pervy dudes. It doesn't appear to be. I don't know. Like it's like the most like 5-year-old prank. Like a little kid in school.
Them. He's taking them and then giving them back to him or throwing them on the ground and running off.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to expose the fact that they're wearing a wig.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's simply that. It's like I want to expose people for the fake thing they have on their head. I don't know. And he hasn't said. He's apparently cooperating, but he's not saying what his deal is.
Maybe he thinks they're a beaver.
That's what it is. I was like, damn it. I've been foiled again. Not a beaver. All right. Keep looking for the beaver. Here's was a famous line in Leave It to Beaver. Keep looking for the beaver, they'd say. Let's read this final story about a quarter pounder. We like McDonald's sometimes, so why not? If you like a quarter pounder without cheese, or they like a quarter pounder without cheese, so they're suing McDonald's for $5 million. 2 South Florida McDonald's customers think the fast food giant is being awful cheesy and how it charges customers for a signature item that has been on the menu since 1975. According to the class action lawsuit filed in Fort Lauderdale Federal Court on May 8th, Cynthia Kistner of Broward County and Leonard Werner of Miami-Dade say they have had to pay for cheese that they didn't want in their quarter pounder sandwiches. They're asking for $5 million. It all comes down to this. On the menu, a hamburger at Mickey D's is cheaper than a cheeseburger. What? What does that mean?
What?
I don't get that.
No.
That might be like one of those article links that went somewhere else and I copied it. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is weirdly familiar. Have we talked about them?
I don't think we have. There was something along these lines that we have talked about in the past. I don't remember if it was cheese on the...
I don't think this was it, but it was something about the quarter pounder and misrepresenting what it was or something like that. And it's just ringing familiar to me. But anyway, the practice has happened for years, the suit says, but now McDonald's says at some point, McDonald's at some point ceased separately displaying these products from purchasing it on the menu and currently lists the availability of quarter pounder with cheese and double quarter pounder with cheese. As a result, the suit claims customers have been forced and continue to be overcharged for these products by being forced to pay for 2 slices of cheese. I think their definition of forced is different than mine. Don't you think?
I guess I kind of see what they're saying. I hate to like actually give these guys some credit, but you can order a hamburger and you can order a cheeseburger on the menu at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You can't order, and you pay a different price, right? You pay a slightly lower price for the hamburger, and that's probably why it says that on the menu. A hamburger at Mickey D's is cheaper than a cheeseburger.
Right.
So If you don't want if you want a hamburger or you want a hamburger and you don't want cheese, you order a hamburger. If you don't want cheese, you order a cheeseburger. But if you want a quarter pounder with cheese or a quarter pounder without cheese, you still have to buy the quarter pounder with cheese. They don't make a quarter pounder without it.
Oh.
And you don't get there's not an equivalent without cheese that's a lower price. So you're saying, give me the quarter pounder without cheese. They'll take the cheese off, but they won't take any price off.
Yeah. Well, Ninja Steve says
whether it requires a $5 million lawsuit, I don't think so, but
maybe a little litigious for our taste.
Exactly.
Ninja Steve sums it up nicely. He says, "When I go to the arcade, I become a quarter pounder." I like it. Nice one. Nice one, dude.
Yeah.
That's your news for today. I know you all feel more informed, and that was really our goal. So, goal accomplished. But the next goal,
we all just a little bit smarter now.
Maybe a little dumber, honestly.
Maybe it is actually.
Wendy's going to be here in a minute or in a bit to talk to us about email this time. We got an email this week that we want to go over. We may have time for calls after that. I'm not sure. We'll see. But but my sister Wendy here doing some therapy on Therapy Thursday. Before that, a song break with Brian Ibbett.
Yes, we're going to go across the world, around the world, to New Zealand for an indie pop band that's making a big splash out there called Alae, A-L-A-E. They are getting ready to release their debut album, which is called Henry Street. Actually came out at the end of last month, October 26th. Brand new album.